For Linda McMahon to say that she had nothing to do with the storylines is ridiculous. It's also ridiculous because she was often parts of those storylines. I mean, she allowed herself to be portrayed at different points as an abuser of children, somebody who would have herself slapped by her own children on television. She once portrayed herself as somebody who was in a catatonic coma while her husband had sex in front of her. I mean, we're not exactly talking family values here. And, you know, I'm no prude in any way, shape, or form, but I am a big believer in truth. So for her to sell herself as somebody who is distanced from the very spectacle that she actually put herself at the heart of in terms of several World Wrestling Entertainment storylines, I mean, she would have to also sell the idea that she is suffering from a multiple personality disorder. This should be a disqualifier for her running for this. I mean, it's not dissimilar to Larry Flint running for office and saying, hey, do you remember that picture of the woman in the meat grinder? Well, you know, that's the past, and I had nothing to do with that. I mean, that really would be the equivalent of this, because putting women in meat grinders and specifically rape culture, violence against women, was the Attitude Era's stock in trade. The Trish Stratus clip is actually a tame example of what they did. I think it's gotten a lot more publicity because it was Vince McMahon directly involved in it. But the kind of stuff they did that focused around kidnapping, around rape, around roofies, all things like that, all for the enjoyment, not to be critical of these things, but all for the enjoyment of a primarily male, very young male, even juvenile audience, should in all theory be a disqualifier, but it's not. And one of the reasons why it's not is that Linda McMahon is resting on the whole reality-unreality aspect of World Wrestling Entertainment. Not that dissimilar from what Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he ran for governor of California and was asked about, gee, you have all these violence in your movies and all these horrible things happened in your movies. And his response was always, well, it was a movie. It's Hollywood. It's how I made my business. That should not be a disqualifier. But I would argue very strongly that World Wrestling Entertainment is very different. The McMahons were playing themselves. They were representing themselves. And if Arnold Schwarzenegger had ever done a documentary where he shot and killed a woman, and even if it was for play, like a mockumentary, and said, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger and this is how I divorce my women, that would be seen, I would think, as a disqualifier for him to run for public office. And that's exactly why I don't think the McMahons, Linda McMahon in particular, should be able to hide behind the whole reality-unreality aspect of World Wrestling Entertainment.